Craig Candelore is running for office. His campaign is based upon the ABCs. A for accountability, B for borders, and C for common sense. For accountability, he means being accountable to the voters, to the people who elect him, to the people who decide if he stays in office. By borders, he means not overstepping his powers with the office. And by common sense, he means just using his noggin to decide what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong, and what is going to be decided. Craig Candelore is running to be a Superior Court judge for office number 14. That doesn't make a lot of sense, because a judge, the boundaries that a judge is supposed to obey are the laws. A judge is supposed to hand down decisions based upon the law. So that's number 2 coming in. But number 1, accountability to the voters, that means doing what's popular. And what's legal is not always what's popular. That's the whole point of having judges. If we just wanted people to do what was popular, then we'd have politicians deciding everything. But that's not it. And number 3, common sense. Common sense, no. Judges are supposed to use logic. Judges are supposed to make sure that logic means that there are no contradictions in your thinking. So as long as the premises you start out with are true, your conclusion will also be true. But common sense doesn't always work that way. Common sense is based upon personal experience. Common sense is based upon having hunches. Common sense is based upon, have you been here before? When someone says they're going to use common sense, that means they're not going to bother finding out what the right answer is because they think they already know what the right answer is. That's not the way a judge is supposed to work. A judge is supposed to evaluate everything. Now, why am I upset about this? Why am I upset about this? Well, the reason I'm upset about this is because Craig Candelore isn't alone. There are others. There is Larry Jake Kincaid, also running on the ABCs, exactly the same. Accountability, borders, common sense. And there's Harry Coleman Jr., accountability, borders, common sense. And there's, who else is there? Bill Trask, accountability, borders, common sense. Exactly the same thing. These are people who say that they're not going to legislate from the bench. Do we believe them? I know that I don't. Why don't I believe them? Because all 4 of them were handpicked by an organization called Better Courts Now, which at first would make sense. I want better courts. I think everyone wants better courts. But they don't want better courts. What they want are Christian courts. Better Courts Now was organized by the now deceased Don Hamer, a pastor from Zion Christian Fellowship. Zion Christian Fellowship is as far as I can tell, pretty fundamentalist evangelical Christian group. They literally want to convert the entire world. And Don Hamer, in his video where he talks about Better Courts Now, he specifically says that the candidates they're going to propose to be judges are going to be pro-traditional family, by which he means anti-gay, and anti-abortion. Now, come on. Come on. Why would you care if someone is pro this or pro that if they're not going to legislate from the bench? They're lying. Of course they're going to legislate from the bench. That's why they were picked. Now, there's another thing to bring in here, too. The San Diego County Bar Association. Every time an election comes up and a judge or a lawyer position that is elected is in dispute, the San Diego County Bar Association goes around to all the lawyers and all of the judges in San Diego County, and essentially asks them, have you heard of these people? Or have you heard of this person? Have you heard of this person? What have you heard about them? What do you think? Have you met them personally? What do you think about their temperament? What do you think about how much bias they bring to a courtroom? What do you think about their ability to hand down decisions that are in accordance with the law? What do you think about their knowledge with the law? What do you think about their experience? What do you think about X, Y, Z, and then W, and then Q, and then T, and all over? And based upon the responses, mainly based upon the responses, there are a couple other things. I will post the information about this in the description box, so that you can look it up yourself, and I encourage everyone to do so. Anyway, based mainly upon the responses they get, they rank candidates as well qualified, qualified, or lacking qualifications. 3 of the 4 candidates proposed by Better Courts Now are lacking qualifications. And the 4th one, well, he's not qualified, they just couldn't get enough information on him on time. So here we have 4 obviously evangelical Christian candidates running to be judges, obviously so that they can hand down pro-fundamentalist Christian decisions. What else do we know about them? Well, all 3 are supported by the Independence Caucus. The Independence Caucus is based in Utah and is supposed to promote candidates that are nonpartisan, or that are not members of either major party, and that are not owned by corporations. But these candidates are also supported by the Republican Party. So that shows you how good the Independence Caucus is at deciding who is already supported by one of the major parties, who is already owned and who is not. Now, let's compare them with their opponents. I encourage everyone to compare them with all of the opponents, but right now I'm just going to go with the guy right on the top of the ballot. Craig Candelore, that's the evangelical Christian, versus Lantz Lewis, that is the non-evangelical Christian. Now, Lantz Lewis is not supported by any of the by either of the major parties. His endorsements come from former Sheriff Bill Colander, the Deputy Sheriff's Association of San Diego County, and the San Diego Police Officers Association. He is not a political person. He is not a political appointee. This is a person who has great respect for the law and who hands down decisions, logical decisions, based strictly on the law. If he wasn't, then if he seriously was into this for the politics, then he'd have the Democrats would support him, or the Republicans would support him, or some political group would support him. But they don't. Look, professional community organizations that support him: the Lawyers Club of San Diego, Crime Victims United of California, San Diegans Against Crime, public safety organizations, the Peace Officers Research Association of California, San Diego Firefighters. This guy, Lantz Lewis, has some real backing from people who know the law backwards and forwards. He has some real backing from nonpartisan groups, and frankly, his opponent, Craig Candelore, just can't honestly say the same thing. Anyway, I want to conclude with, please, any San Diegans who hear this, do not vote for Craig Candelore, do not vote for Bill Trask, do not vote for Harry Coleman Jr., and do not vote for Larry Jake Kincaid. Anyway, have a good night, or in my case, good morning. I am really tired, and yeah, thanks for watching.